What's happening, financial coaches? It's Pete here. I want to bring up a situation that I've seen a few times here, and I have some suggestions. The situation that has come up is sometimes you will have people go through your course or your program or your curriculum, and they will enjoy it along the way. And I've been a customer of programs, not just in financial services, but for YouTube and some of the business building things. And I have paid thousands of dollars for a course, and it's fine. And you're hoping that there's some big reveal or some sort of information that you don't know. And sometimes I've gone through these courses and ended up with no new information. It's just probably one of the dangers of going through lots of courses and going through lots of trainings over the years. In fact, I remember a course where I paid $800 an hour to take it, and I got zero out of it. It was an interesting experience, and they had a money-back guarantee. I did not apply for it because I just felt this is a person making their living on this type of course and didn't want to necessarily just take my money back. I felt like some people probably would do that. But just because people take your course does not mean that they're super happy. And even if you're leading it and people seem engaged, seem appreciative, doesn't mean that they are happy or satisfied or would recommend the course. And so a lot of times, it's like in account management, you might meet with a client every week and you just don't know that things are brewing behind the scenes, or underneath the surface there is some chaos or some disappointment. And so one of the situations that came up was a financial coach had someone go through their curriculum, pay for it, seem happy along the way, never mention that they weren't happy, never mention that they weren't pleased with what they were getting, but then leave a very scathing review on a public forum. And one of the things that I would say here is that this is going to happen. A lot of people don't want to be confrontational. A lot of people don't want to tell you to your face, despite your best efforts and the fact that you're being diligent, you're really trying, that, hey, your content sucks, that your delivery sucks, that you're not a good presenter, that you don't explain concepts, whatever it might be. Just because you've developed a course, and sometimes I say the phrase, just because someone puts a microphone in front of you does not make you a public speaker, that sometimes the content is not good. And sometimes the content is great for someone specific, and sometimes it's just exactly the opposite for someone else. So what I would normally do here is, if it's just a grassroots opportunity to teach people in-person class or a workshop, I always have a survey at the end. And what I allow people to do is not fill out the personal information portion. There usually is like a buck slip on the bottom where they can fill it out. Hey, I would love to connect. Please reach out to me. I want to have a personal one-on-one session or whatever it is. But if they don't fill that out, just writing, hey, don't fill out any personal information, all your responses will be kept anonymous. And then I'm getting anonymous feedback, so someone can feel free to actually put in their real comments, put in some feedback, give some constructive criticism. If you have a very small registrant base or a very limited number of attendees, maybe people won't be that honest. But if you have 20 people or 50 or 100 people in a session, I think you'll probably get some pretty honest feedback. I've gotten some really honest feedback that way. Now, if you have the opportunity, a little more expensive situation is to hire a company, an outside company that would contact them, that would call them, send them a survey, and gather some of that feedback as a third party, saying that, hey, yes, anything you tell us will be absolutely anonymized. In fact, I remember when I was running another coaching program, we were talking about, should the coaches ask for feedback at the end of the session? And I absolutely disagreed with that, because they're not going to get anything but soft kid gloves, right? A coachee is never going to tell a coach who just worked with them for an hour that you stink, or that wasn't helpful, or this was a great waste of my time. But they might actually say some of those things honestly to a third party if they know that there's not going to be any blowbacks. So one of the things that I would do here to get honest feedback is, one, allow for anonymous feedback in kind of the methods that you're probably using already, or two, hire an outside firm that can get that information and even give them more confidence that their information is anonymous. So hopefully that helps.